The No Fade channel checking in, and today we are going to be doing a review of the Hyundai Kona electric car with an owner that has had it for over 3 months. This channel is dedicated to helping you dads be great parents to your kids and still accomplish your own personal goals. My hope is with this video, it might help you make a decision whether the electric car, specifically the Hyundai Kona, is right for you. So we are here with an owner that was gracious enough to do a quick interview with me regarding his ownership. So what made you choose an electric car in general?
Actually, it was a discussion I had when I bought my Chevy pickup truck over there with the dealer, and they started talking about lease versus buy. And they mentioned the electric car, which was the Chevy Bolt, that is better to lease it because of the changing technology. After about 3 years, you know, the range increases and you're going to want to get the greatest and best. So that's when I started doing some investigation. I went onto YouTube and I saw a video made by Edmunds, and they were comparing the Bolt with the Hyundai Kona, and they definitely preferred the Kona over the Bolt, and that's why we went to the dealership and test drove it and eventually leased it. What we've discovered is it's rated for 258-mile range. That is an estimate provided the conditions are right. If in good conditions, like in the fall and the spring when the weather's nice and you're not using the heater or the air conditioning, you can get over 300 miles on a range. Right off the bat, the difference is in cost. A gas car, like for instance a Subaru Forester, which gets about 30 miles to the gallon, current price of gas is going to cost you about 9 cents a gallon for fuel. For the Kona, you have to price it out by kilowatt hours used to charge the vehicle. Now, it takes about, it gets about 4 miles per kilowatt hour of charge. To deduct the cost of that, you have to look at your electric bill, divide it by the number of kilowatt hours you've used during that billing period, and you're going to come up with a cost. In our case, it's about 20 cents per kilowatt hour. That translates to about 5 cents a mile. So you're saving about 4 cents a mile. I've programmed this. When I plug it in during the day, it won't start charging till after midnight that night. In our case, it's not because of the peak or off-peak hours, because that doesn't make any difference with our company. But it also avoids the chance that you might be using your oven, the 220-volt oven. You don't want to be using the clothes dryer or the oven at the same time you're charging the car, because you're talking about a 220 charge, and it puts a lot of strain on the system. I've only got a 100 amp system. If somebody has a 200 amp system, that's not a big issue.
Now, in terms of drivability, in terms of when you're driving it, how does it handle driving compared to a gas car?
You'll notice the difference right away with the acceleration. This car does 0 to 60 in about 4 to 5 seconds. This car is very impressive. It has several modes. It has a regular mode, it has an economic mode, and it also has a sport mode. And if you put it in the sport mode and floor it, you're going to peel rubber, because the pickup is amazing. The other thing you'll notice too is the handling on the curves, because of the battery is fairly heavy and it's low to the ground. So you have a low center of balance and you can take curves a lot better than a gas-powered vehicle. Here's the plug that plugs into the car.
Okay.
All right. This is an outlet that I had installed by the electric company. It's about like the dryer plug, only it generates 32 amps. Your typical dryer plug generates about 28 amps.
Okay, so a bit above the typical dryer plug.
Right.
Okay.
But this is the optimal. This is what the charger comes with. This is a must-start charger. It's portable. I can take it off the wall and take it with me if I'm going to someone's house. If they have an electric dryer, that's very handy for me, because you can buy adapters that connects here. And this is your typical dryer plug adapter, okay? And you can disconnect this plug, plug in this one, and you can plug it in anybody's dryer outlet,
yep.
Okay? The other adapter I have is the regular 110 outlet that plugs into a normal standard outlet.
Okay.
Your car will also come with this. If you want to charge with 220 level 2, you need to buy a charger and either have it installed or get a portable one like this one. I fully recommend this one because you can take it off the wall, take it with you if you go on a long trip.
Now, in terms of charging stations out and about, obviously I've seen more and more as I've been traveling, but have you used any of the charging stations that are currently out there?
Only some restaurants have charging stations installed, level 2 charging stations, so that the idea is to draw a customer. If you have an electric car, you go to that restaurant, plug in, go in, have lunch, and by the time you come out, you put another 25 miles on your car. And that's kind of public relations draw. The fast chargers, level 3 chargers, those are the ones that can charge up to 80% in under an hour. And those are the ones you want to look for if you're taking a trip. If you can find them, there's several apps you can download onto your phone, and you can see where the locations are of these things. Some of them even say if they're being occupied or not. And you can plan your trip out, locate one near a restaurant or near the hotel you're staying at or something like that, so that you can, conveniently take the time for that. So a lot of shopping malls have them. There's different charge standards. There's a Tesla standard. You cannot charge this car on a Tesla charger, so you need to be able to separate that out. The other one is there are 2 types of chargers out there. It's a level 2 and level 3. If you're on a trip and you don't want to take a long time charging, you want a level 3. If you're staying at a hotel that has a level 2 charger, problem solved. You just leave it plugged in overnight. Your car is ready to go the next morning.
So anyone that does get an electric car, they're going to need to, at the very least, have a charge station set up in their home, like you did, and even potentially have to get a new electrical box if they have an older box that may not be able to handle the increased capacity. The good thing is, once you do have it set up, if you have an electric car, you'll have it set up for the remainder of your life going forward, especially as the technology improves and electric cars become more readily available. And the same thing with the charging stations that are out there. They're only making more of them, they're not making less. So they should become more available as time goes on.
Exactly, they're making more by the day. But at this stage in time right now, if you want to have your own charge with an outlet like this, I had to actually have my entire panel box replaced. So there is an investment involved to get this electric car. It cost me $1,400 to have that replaced. You pop this open.
Okay, James Bond style.
Yeah, and you pull out the protector, and that's the basic plug for this unit. Now I have to explain, there are 3 levels of charge. There's a level 1, which is a regular 110. That's your regular outlet.
Okay, wall outlet.
Wall outlet. That charges at the range of about 4 miles an hour. It's very slow.
So very slow for a standard wall outlet. Okay.
Exactly. If you want to put 200 miles into this car, it's going to take a couple of days.
Okay.
All right. Level 2 charge is what I have over here. It's a 220 outlet. That'll charge at the rate of about 25 miles per hour. And it just plugs in, straight on in, like that. And this one is set to start charging after midnight, so you're not seeing any activity at this point.
Okay.
But it does have an override. If you want to charge during the daytime, you're out and you're on a public charger, there's an override button here. You just press
the override button.
and it'll start to charge immediately. Excellent. And then when you're done, you just push this lever down, it releases it, and you're all set. One of the first things you notice the difference is there's one motor. There are 3 liquid reservoirs. There is the brake fluid and the power steering fluid. There is the coolant fluid for the battery, and then there's the windshield washer fluid. All you need to do is check to make sure the levels are normal. If the coolant fluid is down, you need to take it to the dealer to have that replaced, because it takes a specific kind of distilled water, not the kind you get from your dehumidifier. Okay. It has a regular battery to operate the accessories. The battery is kept charged by the main battery, and that's basically all there is to it. There are things you don't have to worry about are oil changes. You don't have to worry about transmission fluid. You don't have to worry about your transmission going. And actually, because of one pedal driving, which you're going to find out, you use the brake very little.
Very little. So your brake pads are even going to last you a much longer time.
The brake pads should last the life of the car. You never have to have a brake job.
Wow.
And this car is designed for stop and go traffic. It has a regenerative feature where every time you let up on the gas pedal, you'll feel the car slow down. In fact, you can stop it completely just using regeneration. And if you're in stop and go traffic, that's where you get your best mileage. It's very comfortable. I'm 6'3" or 6'2", and I know you're about 6'1". I find it very comfortable even on a long trip.
Okay, so we got no shifting here. It's all button control here for reverse.
That's right. But one thing I'd like to point out is how the heat is on right now. Okay. Now, if I shut the heat off, if you see the mileage reading,
the mileage says 129. Go
all right,
ahead.
that's the range I have left. Okay, if I shut that off, look what happens to the estimate. Jumps to 147.
Just right off the bat, just by hitting that power button. So obviously, because it's an electric car, anything that you do electronically, heat, air conditioning is going to affect the mileage of the vehicle?
It will affect the mileage. That 258 EPA rating is an estimate based on average driving throughout the course of the year. So we're going to do about 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour of charge in the cold weather like this when we have to have the heat on. If you shut everything off, the heat off, and you're not using the air conditioning, that goes up to about 4.5. So it averages out to about 4 kilowatt hours year round.
And also, you know,
4 miles
for
per
the people
kilowatt
watching this, it's 34 degrees out temperature-wise, external temperature. So when you get closer to 50 or even 60 degrees, you're going to get a much better range, just because the colder the temperature is, the worse it is on the battery.
That's right. Well, that 34 degrees might be misleading because we just pulled the car out of the garage. So
yeah, it's probably colder outside. Oh wow! So when you take that foot off the gas,
right,
it really slows down quite a lot.
Now, okay, now you've used the brake to stop, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now you have a paddle on the left side.
Okay.
That's a regen paddle.
Yeah.
And you pull it towards you, activates it, okay?
Okay.
You can take the regeneration all the way off. There's a paddle on the right, and it's at level 3 right now, which is the highest, and that's where I keep it. But if you don't like it, you want to coast a little more, you can hit this paddle to drop it down to level 2, level 1, and 0.
Okay.
And use the left paddle to put it back up to 3.
Okay.
When it's on 3, if you hold that paddle while you're slowing down, it'll stop the car.
Oh, okay.
And you won't have to use the brakes. So go ahead and take a left.
Yeah, it handles the turn. I noticed you were talking about handling the turns here.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, I'm going right now. We're at 45, and I don't feel like we're going fast on these back roads. All right, so we're coming to an intersection. I'm going to take my foot off the gas, and just wow, you slow down much quicker than a normal car. And I'm not putting any no brake, no brake whatsoever.
Now go ahead and pull that left paddle. Comes to a complete stop.
Complete stop.
And it'll stay there. It'll hold.
And
you don't need the brake at all.
No brake at all. There we go.
Now go ahead and give it the gas.
Wow, it feels like a test track at Disney. This is nice. And I'm already
That's
50 miles an hour here.
That signal you heard was lane departure warning.
Departure mode, yeah.
That's all.
Wow. So I'm got to 50 in like no time. That was nice. You know, I can see how it could take some getting used to in terms of being comfortable with it, but I can see how once you do, you get really, really like it.
It's a lot of fun to drive, I think.
So show me. So this is normal mode. Hopefully you guys can see that. That's normal mode. Hit the button.
Okay. This is sport mode.
Sport mode. So you kind of get a different view.
It's
differentiate it.
It's a different. That's right. A different display. And then eco mode is if you hit eco mode and then hold down the drive mode, it takes it to super eco mode. That means it won't go over 60 miles an hour, and that's supposed to get to your best mileage. I wouldn't normally advise using that unless looks like you're running short of miles and you want to get to the next charge station safely.
Huge thanks to Jim for showing me his Hyundai Electric Kona vehicle. Definitely really good pickup, great cornering, and not what I typically expected when I think of an electric car. They've certainly come a long, long way. Hopefully you found this video informative. If you have any questions that we didn't answer, drop them in the comments below, and I'll try to get Jim to answer them for you. If you came this far in the video, you know what to do. Give this video a like and hit that subscribe button. As usual, thanks for watching, and don't save anything for the trip back. I am dedicated to helping you dads be great parents to your children and still accomplish your own personal goals. I post tips and tricks to save you dads time, energy, and money. 3 things that are in short supply for every dad out there.